I'm Tabitha Walter, Eagle Forum's political director, and today I am joined by Cindi Castilla, who is president of Texas Eagle Forum. Hi,
Hi,
Cindy.
hi, Tabitha. It's good to be with you.
Yeah, it's good to be with you. We wanted to bring Cindy on today because she has some inside knowledge of a huge story right now involving a hair salon owner who was jailed for cutting hair. We have been through months of quarantine now, followed by a huge economic downturn because state and local governments have deemed certain businesses essential and others non essential. First, Cindy, will you talk about the timeline of the Texas Governor Greg Abbott's orders regarding the coronavirus and then how the city of Dallas followed suit?
Okay, sure. Our governor started on March 13th. He declared his declaration of disaster for all of our state. And then on March 19th, he started doing distancing orders. So he did an order that said only 10 people could gather at a time. At the same time, he closed our schools temporarily across the state. So for all public districts, he closed those, and he stopped our ability to eat in restaurants. So he did that, and almost immediately, every step he took, our county governor with our county commissioners took similar steps, but usually a little bit tighter. On the 22nd, our governor stopped all surgeries, anything that was considered not immediately necessary. So the good news for Texas, as much as we started wondering what was happening to us in Texas, being starting a tight lockdown, abortions were stopped in Texas. So that was one good thing with his lockdowns. But they stopped unnecessary surgeries, and in an effort to empty our hospitals, it's what the science indicated at that time. But it was dangerous for a lot of people. Let's see, he did some orders to stop travelers when they came into our state, either flying or driving. If they were stopped, they were told, there was a law that said they had to, or a rule that said they had to self-quarantine. So he was doing that. At the same time, our county and our city were both just bringing us in tighter and tighter. So our governor never issued an order that said you had to stay at home, but our county did make that order. And so that went into effect on the 23rd for us. So we weren't allowed to go out anymore. And I want to say about Texans, we're pretty independent, but we're also self-responsible. And, we're a great state for gun rights, and people are responsible with their guns here. And same with this, I think we're responsible for our health. I feel like they could have compelled us to want to stay home. The science was doing that at the time. And I think we would have done that. And it turns out a group that we work with looked deep into our Constitution. And we don't generally go to the Texas Constitution and see what it says. But our Bill of Rights, I'm going to read here. Our Texas Bill of Rights specifically states that the usurpation of the rights of the citizenry is accepted out of the general powers of the government, and such rights shall never be violated. So really, these orders in our state were probably unconstitutional.
Right. And I think we've had that discussion internally and then among friends, like, is this constitutional? Is this legal? So yeah, I think that's on everyone's mind right now. And it's been for a while. And then at the same time, we've seen state and local governments make examples of people for violating these orders. And the most recent in your state of Texas is Shelley Luther. She is a salon owner in Dallas who violated a local order by opening her business so she could pay her mortgage, and so her hairdressers that she employed could feed their kids as well. She received a 7-day jail sentence along with a $7,000 fine. The judge offered to reduce her sentence if she apologized for being selfish. She refused, of course, so they threw her in jail. We are usually people who advocate for the rule of law. Why is this different than any other time?
Tabitha, I would say that supporting the rule of law really isn't the same thing as having to agree that all rules are inherently just or constitutional. So we're in this period where our government is forgetting that we're founded on liberty and an individual's right to self Our founders broke laws when they declared our independence
Right.
from a ruler, and it turns out our government is turning into rulers, in this
Hmm.
case, and we tend to reject that. So, if we really take liberty seriously, I feel like we must be willing to question the government's ability to shut down the economy by fiat. They just told us no more.
Hmm.
And so they're taking away our rights to support our families and ourselves. We've done this questioning when other things have come up in our country. Throughout our history, we've looked and questioned a government's move. And most of the time the people can get that taken care of. But so I feel like that's what Shelley was doing. I think her breaking the law was a questioning. Really, this is just a rule. It's not a law. Our legislatures are supposed to make the laws, and we've got one governing person leading areas making rules that we have to follow. Is that even constitutional? So,
Hmm.
she's questioning it. And
Hmm.
I don't see that the same as being concerned about rule of law in this case.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. So now she's out of jail, not because she served her term, but because the Texas Supreme Court stepped in very quickly. Why is their ruling so significant in this case?
Well, it's an interesting ruling. They did the right thing for sure. Our governor changed a few of his orders to act like he was letting her out, but this is really what let her out of jail. So her attorneys filed a writ of habeas corpus, which is a challenge to an alleged wrongful jailing or imprisonment. The court granted that writ, but then they also forced the judge to do what he should have done from the very beginning. In Texas, almost all things that you're charged for, except really heinous crimes, you are allowed to bond out. He offered her no bond.
Wow.
He didn't apologize to him, and he offered her no bond. And so this is where the irony is. So we offer people bond so that they can work and take care of their family.
Hmm.
The very thing they've jailed her for is working to take care of her family. So, government can be crazy, but we
Hmm.
really appreciate she had good lawyers, and these are good people who went back to the rule of law, which is important.
Right.
So the government was forced to take it back, or
Yeah,
the judge.
and I want to point out here too that it's so important, especially in the state of Texas, which elections are different in each state, but in Texas, you can elect your Supreme Court justices to sit on the
Yes.
state Supreme Court. And so in this case, this was a huge benefit for not only Shelley Luther, but the whole state of Texas. So when someone comes under scrutiny again for a similar so-called crime, that there's already a past case to say this was not constitutional and this went against what we believe in our state. So yeah, that's a huge win.
Yeah, and when you hear Shelley talk about what she did, she really was standing as the face of business, small business owners for Texas. And because she did this, she got conversations with the people who are helping guide the governor and decisions on our state. And she actually was able to, with some other salon owners, get them to understand that they want to protect people. They don't want to not protect people. Nobody is forced at all to go to their salon. I mean, if we started
Hmm.
forcing people who are compromised to go out, I think the same people who are saying, please open our economy, would be saying that is unconstitutional to force people out of their homes, to force them not to wear a mask. So,
Right.
we want to help people protect themselves, but we don't want to be under a lockdown that's going to destroy more lives and more life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. Pursuit of happiness originally was pursuit of property.
Right.
So,
Yeah, exactly. That's
so,
very well said.
so.
So I want to take this time to shine a spotlight on the other ways that Texas Eagle Forum has been active during quarantine and your efforts to reopen the economy. What are you all up to?
Well, we've done a lot of rallies. We have a lot of people that are connected with us, Eagles in Texas, who have worked to put on these rallies. We were really the first group that put one on, and got as many people as we could to meet and start this process. So some other groups have joined us and are really kind of leading it now, which is what we want. You know, it needed to happen. We've got people right now down in Dealey Plaza, and they are rallying to open our economy. So we do that. We've got people who are prayer warriors. They've been on prayer calls for our governor, for our president, for the people who are hurting during this. So we have a lot of active members in that. We also have been really active with our county government. They are not acting in good faith. We only have one conservative on our county commission, and we've been able to get on calls. It's the only way to speak in now at meetings, and we have gotten 3 really kind of leftists that are the other 3 commissioners. Our judge does not vote with us, but we've gotten them to overturn the closing of craft stores. Just when you were supposed to wear a mask, our county commissioner purposely closed by name Hobby Lobby and other craft stores.
Wow.
People were ushered out of the stores, leaving their carts. He did that just as we were told we needed to make masks. So he's picking Target, Walmart, the big grocery stores as the place for people to go past the pharmacy where sick people are going to get their medicines.
Mm-hmm.
To go get your craft supplies, which are in very little, of them at the back corner of the store. So we got that overruled. We stopped him from hiring $280,000 worth of people who were going to advise him, who were really his political friends, past campaign managers. And so we got that ended. So I feel like that was Eagles. I mean, we were on the phone talking about that, working that, getting calls and letters and editorials out for that. So that's the kind of stuff we do.
So you're not bored during this quarantine whatsoever.
No, nobody stops volunteers.
Yeah,
so
right.
we've been very, very busy, and we're enjoying it because this really is about our very essence. We want to protect families. We think families are the most important unit in our country,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to support that, and so that's what we're doing.
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. Cindi, thank you so much for the work that you all are doing in shedding a light on this situation. If you all have questions for us, post them below. If you know someone who would want to get involved with the Texas Eagle Forum, share this video with them. The National Eagle Forum also has more information on what is happening at the federal level as well. You can sign up for our emails at eagleforum.org and even sign up to get our monthly Eagle Forum report sent right to your mailbox. We will post these links in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for joining us. See you next time.